Could this be the doorway? It just looks like a crack. He's a scientific, inquiring mind. He needs to go closer and inspect deeper into this.
Mm-hmm. How much closer?
He keeps walking. He's walking over areas illuminated by the crack.
So he's just near it still. He's not walking in it.
I think he's walking like pretty much right into it with his blade drawn in front of him.
You get the blade into the handle. There are little sparks shooting around it. As the length of the blade gets in there, the whole thing is glowing warm.
He pulls the blade out, inspects the blade.
It's solid. Looks exactly the same.
Is it big enough for a person to fit into?
Probably.
All right. He's going to put a hand inside of it.
He does it.
Pulls it out.
It's still a hand. Feels no different.
Well, see you later. And he's going to go straight into it.
Cælum walks into the crack, blade first. It's glowing orange. And walks straight through into an enormous field. Acres and acres and acres of wildflowers.
When last we left Cælum Clara, he had journeyed into another world, a world of endless flowers. Is this right?
That's right. Wildflowers as far as the eye can see.
Traveled through some kind of crack doorway into another place.
You pretty much left all of your stuff, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I have nothing.
Yeah.
I just drew a pretty bad picture of my character, which I have not done yet. So I'm just going to describe Cælum Clara to you right now as he ventures forth into the unknown. And hopefully this picture will help it track in the future. Simple white robes, padded armor underneath. At this time, he has a shoulder bag that is dark leather, a strap that goes across from his shoulder to his opposite waist, full of a few things. Some healing herbs and a healing potion. Underneath his robe, he still has his medallion, his symbol of authority within his organization, the Fellowship of the Seven Rivers. And like I said last episode, he's got kind of gray hair and blue-gray eyes, and I pretty much have been picturing him with kind of like a monk's like hood up the whole time, so you can't really see his hair too well.
Cælum steps through this rift from darkness into a very bright space. It is a field completely filled with wildflowers. They come to about his knee height. I would assume that being an elf of science, he would immediately look around his surroundings.
Yeah, he takes a look around. He shields the sun from his eyes, tries to see as far as he can see.
Okay, since you said that the first thing you notice, you try to shield the sun from your eyes, but you can't figure out where the sun is. It's definitely bright, and it's bright enough that there should be a light source, but there's no sun in the sky. And the sky just looks like a flat sheet of blue.
He's going to bend down, and he tries to see if there's any cast shadows on any of these wildflowers.
No, there aren't. And as you bend down, you feel a breeze at ankle level going through the flowers.
He's going to turn and inspect the source of this breeze.
There's nothing visible. It's just a breeze that shouldn't be because it's lower than, like, open air. It should be blocked by all these flowers, but it's still there.
He's a little bit confused, but
he assumes that it's coming from where he just came from, right? It's gotta be.
Do a perception check.
Okay. So what's the difficulty on my perception check?
Average, but it's wind-based, so you can take a boost.
Didn't even think about it. I got 2 success and an advantage.
You bend down to examine where this wind is coming from, and you start hearing whispers. And you can't actually find that crack that you came in through. It's not there anymore. You turn around, and you can't get a sense of where it was exactly. But the wind is definitely going in a single direction.
Cælum is probably freaking out a little bit, as I think most people would.
Mm-hmm.
He's got kind of a cold sweat right now. This is not good.
Any idea for your perception advantage?
I think I'm freaking out a little bit. But he is going to do... I kind of want to add that advantage, and I just want to use my talent that I have that is called Familiar
Skies? Okay.
So, Familiar Sky, once per session, may perform a Familiar Sky maneuver. Make a hard knowledge check to reveal the current type of environment and other useful information.
Okay.
So, can I do a hard knowledge check and use that advantage as a
boost? Sure.
Okay.
And have you added Knowledge Forbidden to your sheet yet?
I did, and I gave myself a rank in it.
All right. Which knowledge skill are you going to use?
Well, they are all intelligence.
Yep.
I'm going to use Knowledge Forbidden.
Okay. So it's hard?
Yeah.
Did you...
Yeah.
Do I remember you taking a notebook?
I did take a notebook.
Okay.
That was the only good thing that happened about... That's the only good thing I took with me, because that's probably going to be my saving grace. I got a success and an advantage.
So, tell me exactly what you're supposed to get with that talent. What type of environment this is?
Reveal the current type of environment and other useful information.
It is a field of wildflowers.
Okay, I got that.
It is unlike any place that you've been before. So, as far as you can see, to each horizon, it's these flowers. No hills, no mountains, just flat. And the wind is going in one direction, but not moving the flowers at all. There's no wind at any other level except at your ankle level. As you sort of check out your surroundings and sort of put your sensory and magical feelers out, you get the impression that your magic is more powerful here.
So that is a successful thing to be revealed to me.
Yeah. I guess since it was a success on a hard forbidden knowledge check, you think back to that building that you were in not even 5 minutes ago, back in that study where you found the notebook. And you think that this place could be the place that Bellman was... This place may have been Bellman's goal.
I'm going to say that Cælum calms himself down a little bit. Doesn't know what this place is, but understands what he can see. And what he can see is just about nothing. It's not that helpful. He's going to sit down in the flowers, open up that book, and page through until something that seems relevant jumps out. Maybe a symbol, maybe a word. Looking for words like flowers or fields or light or wind or breeze or sky.
You are in this place that seems like it's daytime, but for you it's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I want you to roll a check. Discipline, maybe?
Discipline or vigilance? My discipline check would be better, actually.
I was thinking vigilance originally. Do discipline.
Okay.
I want to make it average, but I'm going to use a story point to make one of those purples red.
You didn't really give me a lot for my success and advantage.
What else do you want?
I'm just not really sure what I got.
You got some stuff.
Remind me what I got again.
You got ideas. You got the idea that this is not a place, probably not a place in your world.
Okay, so...
That it is infused with magic, that it is probably what Bellman was looking for based on the notebook that you took from his office.
Okay, fair enough. Things that I, as the player, assumed, but now
You assumed them to, and then find out that they're true.
Cælum knows this to be true. A average with a red, and my discipline is just going to be 1 yellow and 2 successes with 4 threats.
A despair. Okay, so the thing that catches your eye is that he keeps referencing the old creation story, which is a story you know, but he keeps referencing an additional part of it that you weren't really aware of, that talks about what happened after the old gods left. And interspersed in that stuff that he's written, you find passages mentioning whispering voices, a wind through a doorway.
Well, looks like one of us found it.
And you got a bunch of threat.
He's going to close the book, take out his iron short sword. He's just kind of poking it around where the wind came out from.
So you sat down on the ground, so you're a lot closer to where that wind is. Mm-hmm. And you're sort of feeling it on your like lower torso and legs now instead of around your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And the whispers that you could faintly hear are louder down here. And you definitely hear one of them say your name.
Cælum Clara.
What's that? You talking to me? Oh, what? I'm listening. What do you need? What do you want? Get me out of here. I don't like this. This is not good.
Cælum Clara. We can get house together.
I don't think I trust you. I don't like this.
You don't hear it again.
Well, I'm getting out on my own. He's gonna get up, and I'm gonna use some magic.
Okay. What do you want to use?
I want to shoot a beam of a jet of wind using magic.
Okay.
I want to shoot it forward, and I want to flatten all of the flowers as far in front of me as I can.
Okay.
Facing away from the wind.
Would you say this is a magical attack?
I guess so. I'm not attacking anything except for the flowers.
Unless you're like trying to create a barrier around yourself.
Oh. No, that wasn't what I was trying to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Arcana.
Okay. So your basic attack is easy. If you want to increase the range, make it go further, it's going to be an additional purple per range band.
I want to make it...
so we've got short, medium, long, extreme.
I'm going to make it hard.
Okay, so long range.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's going to be 3 purples.
Okay.
And give yourself a free upgrade.
I can't upgrade a yellow.
That means you add another green.
Oh, nice. And... Wow. Mini success. Okay, well...
How many success?
Well, 2 success, a triumph, and 2 threat.
Okay. How would you like to use your triumph?
So, Cælum does some hand gestures. He does kind of a... Not an exact kame-ame, but kind of rolls his hands a little bit like a Tai Chi movement and blows into them and shoots a jet of wind, and it goes almost as far as he can see, knocking all of the flowers down, flattening them in kind of I'll say like 6 feet wide and as far as he can see.
So they didn't fall down. They flaked apart like old paint. But you've got a clear path ahead of you.
He wasn't expecting this. He's very pleased with his spell ability. Unless he was going to lose 1 strain for that.
2 strain.
Just 2 every time?
Mm-hmm.
Do I start this with fresh strain?
No, you're going to stay where you were from last time, because no time has gone by.
So if my current was 6...
You should be going up to 8.
Okay.
Of what, 11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's going to have to meditate or something soon.
Yeah.
He's going to pick up some of the flakes of these wildflowers.
As you bend down, you hear the whispers more clearly again.
Cælum, let's go.
And you pick up the flakes.
And are these in fact flakes of dried paint?
They seem almost paint-like.
Kind of plasticky, although plastic doesn't exist.
Sort of
oily, bendable chips.
Yep. In every color imaginable.
This is indeed a disturbing universe. He's gonna just continue walking until he gets to the end of his blast of air.
So that blast went a lot further than you thought it even could. And the time you spend walking, it could have been minutes, it could have been an hour. But as you get close to what you think would be the end of it, you see this place has been pretty formless. There aren't really any hills or anything. You see sort of a mound a couple 100 feet in front of you and to the right. It's maybe 6 feet tall. It's more of like it's almost person shaped, like the shape and size of a person.
This is probably gonna be bad, but something's better than nothing, I guess. So let's see what this is. And he continues to approach, straining his eyes to see if he can understand what it is before he's too close to it.
You approach it. It is definitely the shape and size of it's humanoid.
Well, it's a familiar shape, but I still not sure who or what that is, and everything here is bad, so it's probably bad, but I have this crummy iron sword, so add magic.
It's not moving at all.
Statue? He's just gonna cautiously approach. Can't hide.
So you're leaving the path that you created and walking up to whatever this is.
Oh, well, the way you phrase that, I don't really like. Leaving my path.
Is that what you're doing?
I mean, maybe I want to continue my path, if you put it that way.
You can continue your path.
Well, I want to continue my path, but I don't want to blow this, whatever it is, away, or instigate it by attacking it.
Oh no, it's to the left of your path.
I see.
You can continue your path past this.
When you say continue my path, you mean like I need to use more magic to make it longer?
No, just continue along this path that you created.
I see. Okay, well, I'm just gonna continue on my path. I don't wanna... I have made this path for a reason. That's because everything looks the same. I need to have some kind of a mile marker to understand how, directionless I am.
So you continue on, leaving this thing behind you, and continue for another stretch of time. And you can still feel the breeze around your ankles. It's going in the same direction as your path. And
the breeze is still there?
It's still there.
And is it as strong as it always has been?
Yep, it is constant. And for some reason, your path is just not ending. You do not come to an end. And eventually, you spot not 1, but 3 more of these person-sized mounds covered in flowers.
Okay. So the mounds, these person-sized mounds, are covered in flowers?
Yeah. I think,
Yeah. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
But you should say it anyway.
Annihilation.
Yeah. So the persistent breeze on his ankles has given him an idea. It's not really so much an idea, but just an act of scientific desperation for an answer within this endless maze that he seems to have walked into.
He's wondering if he can try and contain the breeze. Like, can he like trap some of this breeze in like a barrier, like a circular, bubble or something like that? And will it do anything at all?
You could try.
Okay. I mean, going through his head, he's like, this breeze, it keeps happening no matter where I go. It's about the same strength. Is there a voice in there? Is there a ghost? Can I trap a ghost? I don't know anything about ghosts, I guess. Not as much as I wish I did. Let me just try this.
So we're not going to use barrier. We're going to use conjure, with which you can use Arcana or Primal.
Conjure bubble?
Yeah, basically. You're going to make a Steven Universe bubble.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm picturing it kind of like a windy bubble.
Yeah. A windy bubble.
A bubble made of wind.
Okay, so it's going to be an Arcana check, and it's going to be easy, and you can upgrade.
Okay. Am I just getting an upgrade because I am in some kind of world of magic where my magic is just a little bit better?
You're in a wellspring of magical energy.
That's cool. And it's easy?
It's easy. You're just making a small bubble. The thing about that, the reason that I feel like it's okay to give a free upgrade here is that any enemy is also going to get a free upgrade.
Fair enough. This is my lucky app. Did I tell you that? I told you about my lucky app. I also had like a really stacked roll there. But I got 2 success and a triumph.
Okay. What do you want to do with that? What does that look like? What does that success look like?
So he kind of kneels down on his path, just on his knees, puts his hands together, starts muttering some magical words. The words of Skyholm, words of conjuration, and a little glimmer appears in the air and then grows to the size of a bubble with swirling wind around it. He then opens his eyes and sees this bubble that he's conjured successfully.
All right, and so you've trapped some of this wind in it.
He's thinking, maybe there's a voice, a ghost inside. That's what I want. Maybe not.
I'd say with 2 successes and a triumph, there's definitely something in there. I think your senses are attuned to minute changes in atmosphere and wind. Mm-hmm. So you can definitely tell that there's something in there. It is no longer going in just a single direction. It is sort of swirling around.
And is the wind that that breeze that was kind of blowing in on him still blowing in consistently?
It is.
So he's just captured a little bit of some kind of he's captured a magical breeze.
He's captured some sort of breeze, yes.
And he thinks to himself, this is probably the weirdest thing that I've ever done. And the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm worried, and I'm probably not going to ever get out of here, but it's pretty interesting. Fascinating.
So, unless you want to spend your triumph to do otherwise, this thing's probably only going to last a couple minutes. Because that's how conjure works.
Okay. Do you think I have to, I probably have to concentrate on it?
Probably. You could probably walk while you do it. You're walking a little closer to 3 more of these things.
Oh, the things, that's right. I gotta get a closer look at these. He heads down his path that he's winded.
Mm-hmm.
And just walking by, can you get a better look at them?
You can see faintly under the covering of flowers, branches. They're very much in the shape of people.
He should know better, but he's gonna leave his path and inspect the closest one to the path.
You walk up to it. So this place, besides the odd whisper every now and again, is unnervingly quiet. You approach the closest one to the path and sort of take a look at it. You see the branches underneath, the flowers covering the outside. It seems like it might be hollow, and you hear a creak behind you.
turns around to take a look at what's creaking.
The only thing back there is one of these things. It might be in a different position than it was a minute ago.
Ooh, that's not good. Heading back to the path.
Your bubble's gonna disappear any minute.
I can't keep the bubble much longer. I think what he wants to do is he's gonna Kamehameha the bubble with the breeze in it. I just can't decide what to do it at. I think I want to do it back at the source of the breeze.
Okay.
And see if anything happens.
So you do some sort of magical chuck.
Yeah, it's the spirit bomb. I was either gonna throw it back at the breeze, which probably won't do anything, or I was gonna throw it at one of these mounds, see what happens. I guess I'm just gonna do it at the mound because I don't think that it's really gonna do anything to the breeze.
How have you been holding this?
I'd say it's like Steven Universe style, like it's hovering like 6 inches away from the palm of one of his hands.
Okay. So it just stays there regardless of where your hand is.
Pretty much. There might be a tiny bit of a waver. Maybe it's like a second behind. I just think that would look kind of cool.
Yeah. So you lift it and put it back past your head to throw it. And as it passes your head, you hear Cælum. And then you are going to throw it?
Yeah.
Make a ranged light.
Oh, nice. So if I do a ranged light, I don't have to actually, like, cast a spell.
Yeah.
I'm just chucking it.
You're just throwing it.
Okay. How hard is it to
throw? Is it just ranged? Ranged in this game?
No, it's ranged light.
Is it ranged light? Okay. You were pretty close to it. Let's do a single purple.
That's good, because all of my combat skills are bad.
Your agility's decent, though. Oh, it is just ranged. It's not ranged light.
Oh, you're right. I was looking at melee. I was looking at melee. That makes sense. I got 2 successes.
Okay, so you throw it, and what happens when it hits the thing? Like, what would happen to the wind ball that you made? The bubble?
It kind of pops, but as it pops, the wind disperses kind of in like a spiral kind of vortex of wind that kind of shoots in every direction that it hits.
Okay, yeah, so it hits this thing, and as this bubble pops, the wind that emerges blows all of the flower petals, the flowers, off of whatever this thing is, and they all sort of flake off like old paint, and what's left is a sort of armature of live wood. You know, it's like the wood formed the shape of a person.
And what is the person doing?
The person was just standing there. I mean, they're obviously not moving. Sort of in a comfortable standing position.
And they're made of wood.
Mm-hmm.
They are like a tree.
Branches. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they are a tree.
So your check just had successes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Otherplace. Loving the show and want more? Join us and other fans on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and Patreon. The Otherplace is a production of Nightcast Creative. For more info about us and our other projects, visit nightcastcreative.com. Did you miss hearing from Roberto, Takoa, and Talana in today's episode? Make sure to tune in to the latest series of episodes on Fantasy Talk Show to hear from our trio of adventurers. Stay tuned for a trailer and a preview of Roberto's interview.
Hello and welcome to Fantasy Talk Show, a place where heroes come to tell their stories. Fantasy Talk Show is a bi-weekly podcast where I interview people's tabletop characters in character to learn more about their stories and the worlds in which they live. If you're like me and have an interest in tabletop gaming, fictional characters, creative worlds, and the communities that surround them, then please join me for a new episode every other Monday at fantasytalkshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you soon!
There's necromancers out there that are taking advantage of colonies and communities. I'm going to do my best to put an end to it.
Yeah, I think, as you said before, your role as conductor, it's you being true to that role.
Well, I've been trying, and it's a lifelong journey to try to figure out how exactly to be a conductor. This all has been passed down from generation to generation, from, Rabbit to Bunny, Canara to Canara.